Our part of speech for today is conjunctions. This is the last major one. The ninth one that we'll do tomorrow is super easy and won't be any problem at all. So this is the last real part of speech today, and it's conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that connect or join different parts of a sentence. They can connect two words, like Tammy and Shelley love chocolate cake, and is the conjunction connecting the two words, Tammy and Shelley. It can connect two phrases, like in Florida, we will swim in the ocean and play in the sand, and is the conjunction connecting those two phrases. Or it can connect two complete thoughts. I am failing math because I never do my homework, is connecting those two complete thoughts and telling the relationship between them. Okay, so in these three different ways, conjunctions can work to join parts of a sentence together. There are three different types of conjunctions. You don't have to know the different types, but it can help you to remember the conjunction. So you won't be tested on knowing the different types, but I'm pointing them out to you now to kind of help you understand conjunctions better. So the first type is called coordinating, and they join words, phrases, or clauses that are equal. So they can join two words, two phrases, or two clauses together. These are like our normal conjunctions, so to speak. The next type are called correlating conjunctions, and these are pairs that work together. So things like either an or both an and. If there's a correlating conjunction in a sentence, you have to get both parts for it to count as finding it. If you circle the and but forget the both, it won't count. And the last type is subordinating conjunctions, which tells the relationship between two clauses. Those are on the next slide. So subordinating conjunctions, these are them. They tell the relationship between two clauses. These are the hardest ones to spot, especially because sometimes they can be at the beginning of a sentence. Okay. Like if you said, after I eat lunch, I'm going to do my homework. After is the conjunction there, even though it's at the beginning, it's the conjunction because it's telling the relationship between those two actions and joining them together. Okay, so those are your conjunctions. And like always, these charts are in your notes. So let's do, is it a conjunction? In your notes, take a moment and put the words on which side you think they are, and I will reveal the answers momentarily. Okay, so let's reveal our answers here. Our first one is the. The is not a conjunction, it's an adjective. Next one, but. But is a conjunction. Yes, but is a conjunction. Some is not a conjunction. It could be either a pronoun or an adjective. Over. Over is not a conjunction. It is a preposition, like over the hill, right? That would be a prepositional phrase. From is also not a conjunction. It's a preposition, like from my grandma would be a prepositional phrase. While is a conjunction. Yes, it's one of the subordinating ones. Because, yes, is a conjunction. Yet is no, not a conjunction. It is an adverb. Although, yes, is a conjunction. Oop, and that was our last one. So take a moment and correct your notebook if you need to. Make sure you've got the right answers on there. Okay, so now this is, we've had a couple of these so far, but there are words that can be either prepositions or conjunctions, and you have to pay attention to what they're doing in the sentence to figure out which one they are. So let's review the differences here. Prepositions have to be in a prepositional phrase that starts with a prep and ends with a noun or pronoun, cannot contain verbs, and they describe where things are in relation to each other. For example, did you brush your teeth before breakfast? Before breakfast is a prepositional phrase because it starts with the preposition before and ends with the noun breakfast with no verbs in between. Conjunctions, on the other hand, can join complete thoughts that include verbs. So for this one, before I moved to Charleston, I was in college. This before is a conjunction because it's joining two complete thoughts that both have verbs. I moved to Charleston and I was in college. Okay, so if it has a verb in the phrase that it belongs to, it's a conjunction. If there's no verbs in the phrase, then it's a preposition. So let's look at some examples of this. In your notes, you should highlight the prepositions yellow and the conjunctions blue. After we ate, we went to the movie versus after the lecture, we went to the movie. In after we ate, ate is a verb, right? So that has to be a conjunction. Versus after the lecture is a preposition because lecture is the noun ending that prepositional phrase. I've been living in Denver since last summer versus I've been living in Denver since my father died. The first one, since last summer, is a prepositional phrase. Since is the preposition. Since last summer is the prepositional phrase. Since my father died, that since is a conjunction because that phrase is not a prepositional phrase because it has a verb in it. Last example here. Give yourself plenty of time, for the work is difficult, versus give yourself plenty of time for the work. The first one, for the work is difficult, is a complete thought, including a verb, so that is a conjunction, versus for the work is a prepositional phrase that starts with a preposition and ends with a noun. So the key there is verbs. You look for verbs. If you find any verbs, you know it's not a preposition. It's a conjunction. Let's do our examples here. I can stay out until the clock strikes 12. Find the conjunction. It's until. Until is the conjunction there that's joining and telling the relationship between those two ideas, I can stay out and the clock strikes 12. Next one, I'd like a pizza or a salad for lunch. Our conjunction here is or. It's joining pizza and salad together. Since she's so nice, our neighbor gave us candy. Find our conjunction here. This one's a little bit tricky. Our conjunction here is since. That seems a little bit odd because it's at the beginning of the sentence. But remember, I told you those subordinating conjunctions can do that. Okay, it's since is joining she's so nice and our neighbor gave us candy. Next one, I will work on my homework before I go to sleep. What's our conjunction? It is before. Before is the conjunction here. And last one, I got both new shoes and a new coat for the school year. I got both new shoes and a new coat for the school year. Find the conjunction here. Okay, did you mark and? Because if you did, you're missing something. Remember, these correlating conjunctions, the ones that are pairs, you have to make sure that you get both parts. So both and are two parts of one conjunction. Okay, so that's our last example. Go ahead and move on to your assignment over conjunctions. Keep your list handy. Make sure you're not getting them confused with prepositions. And of course, let Miss Lee know if you need any help.